In this picture, we wrestle with the text, deciding what it means, what ideas we can accept, and what ideas we should reject. But the reality is that culture is not just communicative, but also communicable. It is caught before it is taught. And we investigate its meaning as those already in its grip. I should say that Vanhoozer's account is nuanced, aware of the limitations of the metaphor, with resources for avoiding the isolationist approach that Durness fears. All metaphors have limitations, and it is for this reason that I have sought not to replace the literary metaphor, but to emplace it among other metaphors and methods of cultural engagement. In this understanding, cultural interpretation requires a kaleidoscope, and in the chapters that follow, I explore cultural life through 5 lenses. 1. The meaning dimension, culture as immune system. 2. The power dimension, culture as power play. 3. The ethical dimension, culture as moral boundary. 4. The religious dimension, culture as sacred experience. 5. The aesthetic dimension, culture as poetic project. Each of these approaches has something significant to offer, and none of them can be reduced to the others. Culture is how we make meaning in the world, but culture is not just a matter of meaning. It is also about power. On the other hand, culture is not reducible to power. There is also more to culture making than coping or moralizing. The burden of this book is to show how each discipline needs the others, and how they all need theology. In each chapter, theology is brought to bear as an integrative discipline, a host who opens space for others, while also keeping any one voice from dominating the conversation. To that end, I will highlight a distinctive practice corresponding to each cultural dimension: hospitality, iconoclasm, servanthood, discernment, and making. This book offers a non-anxious approach to cultural engagement, one that is attentive to the hunger for meaning, beauty, and justice, and is governed by gospel virtues of faith, love, and hope. It invites listeners to join ongoing conversations between theology and culture by listening, learning, and speaking with a distinctively Christian voice. It offers a multi-layered approach, attending not just to what culture says, but also to what it does and what we do with it, how it forms us as political actors, how it moves us aesthetically, how it shapes the rhythms of our lives, and how it connects us with the God and neighbor we have been called to love. For, to borrow from the apostle, the end of our cultural interpretation is not just understanding, but love, which comes from a pure heart and a good conscience and a sincere faith. 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 5.